Hey, I think I'm live. Can you guys hear me? I have a new microphone. That way I can move my hands and not bump into microphones. So let me know if this sounds okay. My little bar tells me that it's okay. Oh man, we've got Vancouver. We've got Pete. We got people from Vancouver. We got Pete, Manuel, Butter OJ. Is that like butter coffee? But with OJ? I am live. 2 minutes early. Sounds like crap. What? Is it really that bad? Is it that bad? I have no idea. I can't hear myself with the setup. I thought I made it sound okay. You tell me what I need to change. Do I need more bass? Do I need more bass? I sound echoey. Oh, wait. Is this better? Is that better for echo? Just kidding. Just kidding. I turned the echo up on the device. Yeah, I tried the lav mic for this wireless setup, and that was horrible because it can't read through my beard. I would just get, this is like a foam, my neck can't hear my face. So the lav mic heard my beard, and that's it. So much Merry Christmas isn't going on. We've got Deribi, and the Minnesota Maker. Sounds better. Oh, neat. I don't know what I did, but it sounds better. Sounds good. Yeah, the other mic sounds so much sexier. And I think I can mess with this. I do have a soundboard. Hey, we got Tom from Czech. Yeah, I have a soundboard, and I can set that up and try to get some better audio out of this. But this is just a quick setup. I'm running this. Oh, wait, hold on. I can show you since we're talking about things I've bought. So this is it came with 2 of these. This is just like an $80 Amazon purchase. I try to get the Rode lavalier wireless system. Hey, it's Tom. Filament Frenzy's in the house. Thanks for printing that amazing Joker from Vedran, because now I want to print it. But all of my new printers are printing, so the all stock Prusa over here is printing. So we got Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeons and Dragons printer parts. So all the printers are going. My 5th printer will be back shortly, so I can get that set up and maybe print more printer parts right here. But I also do have 1, 2 Repeater server 7-inch touchscreen setup. So I've got one that's going to host this section and one that's going to host this section. So, yeah. Yeah. That hot end was very disappointing. I don't sell any parts, but I think once I get enough printers, because I want to have 8, because I want to start printing parts, because I print a lot of parts. So like I'm already ahead of the game on my pink printer. I've got spare parts for the green printer right here. There's always parts. You know, here's my gray printer, my gray bear that I'm going to make. And then I just started a new bin. That bin right there is for blue parts for that printer. Yeah, I've completely switched over to Repeater server over Octoprint. And it's only because of those touchscreens. And I wish I could bring one over here and show you, but I'll probably do that on a special day. But those 7-inch touchscreens, yeah, that game changing. Because I mean, when I'd be printing down here, I'd have to grab my phone, load my phone up, load the app, you know, and I'd use Octopod, which is awesome. So I'd load the app and I'd go to the thing I want to print, and then I'd print it, and it works. But I just want to walk over and hit print, but you can't access Octoprint without a touchscreen. And I did have this one set up with Touch UI, and Touch UI is the least. I mean, it was easy enough to set up. It still took a couple hours to set up, but it was the least elegant way of doing what Repeater server does. So, hey, what's up, Trolling for Dollars? Merry Chris Machana Kwanzaa. I agree. I said a lot of happy Kwanzaa yesterday. We had impromptu friends miss, an impromptu friends miss. Basically, my buddy and his wife made a whole bunch of food, and then their family was all like, "Oh, it's a 4-hour drive, and we don't feel like going." So they invited all their friends. So they thought they were gonna have anybody, and they ended up with like 25 people over, and it was a bunch of us in the photography community and some friends. She works at for Walgreens and in the pharmacy. So a bunch of pharmacy people. So yeah. So yeah, the first thing I got, new system. Lav mic didn't work, so luckily it comes pre-packed with this face mic, so I look like Britney Spears ready to sing some songs about, what was that thing, Toxic? I think that's one of her songs. I don't know. I'm not much of a Britney Spears fan, but you know. But I do have a bunch of cool things. Because I might actually start building the frame for my extended bear. I have a 250Z bear that I had custom made, so all the rest of my stuff came in for that, so I actually can start assembling it. At least some of the stuff. I can't completely build it, but I can get a lot of it built. One of the things I got for the Pi, since we were just talking about the Pi, is OC made me get this tiny Raspberry Pi. Well, it's not just for the Raspberry Pi, but it's a super tiny keyboard, and then inside is this little dongle, and it's not Bluetooth. It just, these two are paired. So when you plug this into your USB port, you can do that. We call them Madonna mics. Ah, this makes sense. I am your Madonna for the day. Your Christmas Santa Madonna. But this is super cool. It's got a touchpad. So it needs to be called, yes, it will be called the Grizzly Bear. No, I totally am really good at pop singing. Because I had an issue with Touch UI, there's a bug with the current release with Touch UI where you can't log in and there's no touch keyboard. So that's one thing about Repetier is when you install Repetier, you can get the keyboard to pop up and you can log in and you can actually add all your printers from the screen. Unlike Touch UI, which is just a dumbed down touch variant of Octoprint's functionality. But due to safety in Octoprint, there's no ability to access the virtual keyboard in the login screen. So I had to like make a patch thingy to do some stuff, and this would have saved my life. And then I got it set up, and then I realized within a day or two that I didn't like it at all. So now I have this fancy thing that I'm probably never going to use, but I do have a RetroPie. So this keyboard might come in handy for RetroPie. So you might see me, maybe I'll do a Twitch stream one day where I'm playing classic games and printing. How's the printer noise? Can you even hear the printers in the background with this thing, since it's literally my face the entire time? Say Amazon, look at that. Little keyboard. Woo! It's so little. So, in case you ever need one of those. I did have one mistake purchase. Let me grab the other part of it. Everything's in boxes and not correctly organized. I did order extra filament sensor. My beard is a sound dampener. 2 filament sensor cables, since I had one. I had one that I was trying to get in a slot, and I tried to force it in there, and I ruined it. Something that I always forget to order: 2 bed thermistors. I only have 1 spare bed thermistor, and I've only had them go bad on the Mark IIs. But I picked 2 up from Prusa. David from Printed Solid, if you ever think of something to get for us Prusa people, 2 bed thermistors, not 2, well, bed thermistors. Yeah. And of course, we need the little aluminum tape. And I believe this is Kapton. Comes with the little Kapton squares, so you can attach them. So don't forget about that. Get some aluminum tape and some Kapton, Dave. Printed Solid, you better carry this stuff. But one thing I did pick up for my, because one of my tall bear is going to be a 2.5. So I went to Antonio and I got one of those external driver boards. So I'm going to run some Trinamic 2108 drivers so I can get silent step 2. So it runs 2 drivers, so your X and Y axis will have silent stepping. And of course, there's this cable that you have to solder. So you have to solder each one, and that would make an 8. You'd have to make 8 solder points, but it's super easy to solder them to the back of the board. It would void your warranty. So if you're not a happy kid with the soldering tools, don't recommend it. But it's actually a super easy install, and then you don't even need to do any firmware tweaks. It just reroutes the stepper drivers from those pinouts to this, so that way when you print, you can use this bad boy and it'll be silent like your Mark IIIs. But you get silent step 2, so it'll be better. The silent step 2 is way better than silent step 1. Yeah, but then I made a mistake because I was like, oh man, I need to order some 2108 drivers. So I went online and went to DigiKey, and I'm like, oh man, they're so cheap. I made the beautiful mistake of ordering. So on this little thing are 4 little Trinamic drivers that would go on your board. Not the ones that would go on to this board. So I will not be desoldering my stepper chips off the Mini Rambo and putting these on. So it is an option, I guess. Maybe it'll work. Maybe if I get really, really good with soldering, I'll try to do that. But these things are only the size of a small object. Looks like 5mm square. And yeah, I'm not going to do that. So mistake, my one Christmas mistake purchase this year was ordering those chips. But they were super cheap. It was like, man, these are so cheap, $3 a piece. I'll take 4 of those. So I still got to reorder that. So I can't do Antonio's board mod until I order the correct stepper drivers. And apparently there's a color. Apparently there is a color that I need. They're supposed to be white is the good color. I don't know. So there's that purchases. Merry Christmas, 3D Gustner. Phil, you have to solder those wires to the back of the board in different pinouts. There's different locations, so you have to solder it. I don't think you can just lay it there, but I got blue Loctite. This is the one thing I've run out of and never repurchased, and I built this bear. Yeah, I'll make Flavio, the setup for Repetier server is literally download flash to your flash driver, put it in, plug your screen in, and it works. There is no other setup. It follows you along on the screen on how to do everything. But blue Loctite, I built that green bear over there, the toxic bear. Season's greetings, Neil. But yeah, I did that without Loctite, and I've had to tighten a couple things. So if you have the Bondtech gear, that little tiny set screw, blue Loctite. If you're building a bear or a Zerabo, blue Loctite, highly recommend. So they were Amazon, $5 a piece or less. I probably could have gotten local, but I was lazy. I did just get in. So does everyone remember so this screen has a red, you might be able to see it. That's a standard Prusa screen, blue and blue. This screen is red and black. And I had to, I should have one. So it uses this RepRap Discount Smart Controller. And to do that mod, you have to desolder all of these pins. And I didn't have a solder sucker. I just had some solder, some wick. And that sucked. That was probably the most painful experience in my life, was taking the stock screen and desoldering each pin, and then resoldering the new one. The resoldering was easy. That took like a minute to resolder all these pins. But I was able to find a board with no screen. And it already has the board on it. So all I gotta do is put the new screen on it and solder each one. So that is my project. Yeah, I need to order. I just ran out of M3, M3.8, M3.10, M3.16, and M3.18. I just ran out of those in my parts bin. So I got to order that from the McMaster-Carr today. Yeah, these are going to make my life super easy. I need to buy more of the boards from Adafruit, but now when I do my different color boards, I can just put them on the thingy and solder them on versus desoldering the old one and soldering on a new one. Just solder on the new one. I did pick up this one. This screen I got from Filament One. This was custom made. So I had this special ordered, and it was like a one-off. They're like, we don't want to do this for anyone, but if you're willing to spend a whole bunch of money. And I was like, anything to not have to desolder the old one. So I'll see if I can get someone to order these in enough to make it worthwhile, or if they'd be willing to do it again. But for now, this is still the only way. Hey, what's up? What's up, veteran? Yeah, but I was able to pick up a few. They're only like, we can do like 3, and that's it. And I was like, that's fine, just so I don't have to do that ever again. So that's that box. Let's go through this box. This might not have anything that I bought. I've literally thrown everything that I've been purchasing into bins. I think this one's good. This one is just Mark III spare parts that I didn't use and I didn't put away. So this is parts I need to put away. This stuff, this might have something. Yep. Here's a whole nother smart controller with the screen. And I was like, I'm not desoldering that. That sounds horrible. Yep, that was a bad idea. That was hard. Where is it? I did just get these in from all 3D makers. Yeah, the OLED would be super nice. I know Mike did that switch. He did the all blackout Prusa, so he did the atomic carbon fiber PETG, and it was super. Hit the Xmas thumbs up. Is there a thumbs up Christmas button? I don't know about these things. Yeah, so these are those all 3D maker things, but the OLED screen would be super dope. That takes more work to make happen. And I need to keep editing firmware every time they release new firmware, which is not one of my favorite things. And anything else here? Oh, this has a bunch of my McMaster-Carr stuff. So if you don't know, I buy, hey, Nicholas, Merry Christmas. Hope you get a lot of good printers for Christmas. Let's see here, McMaster-Carr, here we go. So here is 100 M5 somethings. Looks like M5 10s. Xmas socks from Santa. Yeah, I think everyone's being holiday busy. But yeah, I finally bought all the screws from McMaster-Carr to build quite a few bears. So I got M320s, M520s, M5.8s, and M5.10s and 12s. What's in here? Oh. Hey, what's up, sunshine, to you? So I got some M5, So the I don't have them out here, but the idlers from E3D are 5mm bore, and I found 5mm bore smooth rods to use to see if I can make a tensioner that uses those. Because I saw some people who did some using some 3D printed parts, and I was like, oh wait, can I find? And I did. I found them on McMaster-Carr. They are 3/16 inch, which is just under 5mm by 3/4 inch. And these are the proper. This will work as a tensioner rod for the E3D idlers, smooth idlers. But I need to leave these out because I'm going to start assembling my bear frame. Anything else I got in here? No. Everyone saw my bag of 100 proper idlers things for the other burner. All right, get this out of my way. So here's a bear frame that had custom made, and it doesn't have any of the 90-degree plates. Where are my 90-degree plates? I bought some 90-degree plates. They're in a box. Oh, I have more stuff I bought. They're down here in this box. So they use these 90-degree plates, and they would go like here and here, and they make them super duper rigid. So I got these from all 3D makers as well. They're silver, unfortunately. I'm thinking about getting them painted. So we will see about painting these. Heck yeah, I've got a lot of them. These are all bear extruders. The 06A1s. Just extruders. You gotta have extras because I break stuff. So I had this custom frame made that's already has it's pre-drilled, so I can build it faster. So it's pre-drilled on all the main axes, and I only recommend this if you can find someone who can cut it perfectly flush, because if you're off on an angle and you set those screws in, it's going to be cattywampus. And the screws, unfortunately, allow room for, well, not unfortunately, it's actually a good thing. They leave some room for play. So if I loosen this up, let me find my tool-a-majigger. Of course it's not there. Woo! Right here. I can move around and still talk. I should put that in my pocket. If I just loosen that up a touch, which is why I don't recommend using this as the main locking system, and I just loosen it up like just enough to pop. And it moves quite a bit. I mean, you can. So if you don't have these braces, you can still make this all cattywampus. Once you get these braces in, there's no cattywampus. So I do not recommend just using the screws in there. There just wasn't duct tape on it. Forgot that the greatest tool ever for 3D printers is duct tape. I'd use zip ties myself. This is 250Z. So this has slightly taller Z motor. So here's as I make noise, here's a stock Z motor. And here's my custom Z motor. It's a taller. And they're also fatter. So these are actual regular size stepper motors versus the slimline ones. Not sure why I did that, but I did. I did clean my desk. It started clean, and then I got messy. So yeah, this is your, again, I don't recommend doing just the set screw in there. And yeah, the extra height will be nice. I can't wait to get that done. And I'm going to build one of these frames right now. And I actually am going to have room because I'm going to take all of this stuff off of my desk because I have room. I have room to put this stuff. I can put this right here. And I can put this right here. And I can put this right here. And I don't need this motor here. Or this motor. I do need this motor eventually. I'm just going to get the frame assembled and put the T-nuts in. I think I built my first bear in my lap because this desk was a mess. And, oh, wait, Chris, don't throw away the blue Loctite. You're going to need some blue Loctite. I don't need my extra fans. They can go in my fan drawer. I will need these screws. I won't need the M310s or the 8s just yet. Maker plus clean desk. What's funny is I have a ton of desks. This desk is slightly clean. That desk is slightly clean. That desk is a mess. That's a mess back here. But, yeah. All right, blue Loctite. Recycling box. Will I make it? Not at all. Didn't even make, not even close. Not even close to make it for the box. Oh, here's some 12s. Those 12s? Nope, M510s. Those were 12s over there. The rest of my 90-degree brackets. More open build stuff. I don't have my knife. I will do a BMG with Bear, but I'm most likely going to wait for the official one from Bondtech because they have an official one coming out. Yep. So open build is another thing I just got in the mail for Merry Monday Mail Day. So they have these aluminum 90-degree angles, and you need 4 of them per bear. Super nice. These little 90-degree angles. It's so pretty. It's like a little triangle made of aluminum. Need 4 of these. Yeah, we're all waiting because that thing's going to be awesome. And then T-nuts. Lots and lots of T-nuts. I think I ordered 100 T-nuts, which is, you need pretty close to that number of T-nuts to make one bear. I don't know the exact number, but it's pretty close to 100. And I believe you need 10 of these 90-degree anglers, which I probably won't install because I want to paint them. Well, I'm going to send them to be painted. My mechanics have agreed that they will color these whatever color I want in automotive paint and that clear stuff. It should work with the MMU2 just fine. There will be an edit you'll have to do because there's a slightly longer load distance. But other than that, it'll work. There's guys already using the that with the MMU2. I most likely for the MMU2 one will use just a stock bear extruder. But that's just me. I don't know what Tremclad Works is. What's Tremclad? Powder coat. I would love to powder coat them. I'd actually prefer to have them anodized a cool color. That would be my most favoriteest option. But I'm not that special. Oh, metal paint. I can try to find that. I bet you they got that out here in the Midwest. All right, where's my bear frame parts? Let's see, I don't know what length that is. That's a shorter one. Okay, this is the Z. This is a Y. This is the brace. Those are these. Okay. Okay. Y, X, Z, brace, X. Building a taller bear. Hello, red light. Red light 34. I think there's some leet in there. Ah, Neil with the save. Some Rostolian something paint. Yeah, the green one's a bear. So it's just a Cruiser Mark 2.5 with a way nicer frame, which I'm building right here. This is the same kind of frame. And I will need my box of gray parts, because I can do some of it today. I'll be able to at least get the frame put together. Yeah, it looks super nice, and it's super sturdy. It does add a lot of weight to it, but totally worth it in my opinion. And these bags are nice. They say open builds. They're the exact same. Everything's exactly the same, but instead of being 356 for the Z, I went with 406. So same specs as a regular Mark 2.5 bear, but I added 50 to the Z, and then had it custom cut. If you go to the GitHub, there's a link of all the suppliers that sell the goodness. So let me pull that link up here. Boom. Boom. That's the GitHub repository for it. Hey, what's up, Chris Riley? We got Chris's basement in the house, right? Chris's basement's in the house. Chris's basement is in my basement. And Chris is in Chris's basement. Because this is my basement. But I can't call it that because somebody else has Chris's basement. All right. Let's take this beautiful packaging off. Yep. Okay, basement in a basement. We have basementception. Yeah, so that's definitely the y-axis. The bear cave. Yeah. That's not a bad name for it. Everybody knows each other's by their names. You guys must have been on YouTubes together, chatted before. Okay, there's two. Nope, I have not talked about Slic3r Alpha yet, but I do have it installed. I've been playing with it. I've already found a few bugs that I've already sent to the devs. I actually sent it right to Joseph. He's like, "Look, it released." I was like, "That's awesome. Here's a bug." And the only bug that I've really found that annoys me is if you rotate an object off the z-axis, the support blockers and enforcers stay in that same angle. So if you tilt an object back 45 degrees and you add a support blocker or a support enforcer, they're also 45 degrees. So then you have to go back and re-rotate them back to flat, which is kind of annoying. And then I had it crash all the time when I was doing that. It would just keep, if I messed with that thing too much, it would keep bugging out. And there was something else too that kept bugging out on me on it. But other than that, I mean, it's an alpha. So I do not expect that to be working great just yet. They literally just released the alpha after a lot of hard work. At least it looks prettier. Looks prettier. Love the new color prints. The color print is built directly in to Slic3r, and you can literally edit where you want the color print change to be. Yes, it does need MMU love on the color change. That's definitely on the to-do list. And so is, I was messing with the SL, because it has the SLA, the SL1 settings and stuff in it. I was messing with that, and there's no object hollowing. And that's, I've talked to them, and that is on the very short list of things they want to do as soon as possible, is adding object hollowing. So that way you don't have to do it in Mesh Mixer no more, because when you print SLA prints, you most likely want them hollow. Because a solid SLA print, that's a big one, will most likely break or warp or do something when it's doing all that fun stuff in the magic, curing, when it's curing. But I do agree it's slow at times. Yes, early Christmas to you too, Psycast. Merry Christmas to all the viewers out there right now that are in Europe land. I know everyone in Europe's been like, Merry Christmas, Chris. I'm like, it's not even Christmas. You know, I never plugged my laptop in. Let me go ahead and do that, because I'm hosting off my laptop right now. Yeah, the new Mesh Mixer everything is way better. It is, that is, well, I need to go give them some hugs, everyone there. See, look at you being so close to Christmas time over there, Manuel. There we go. Now my laptop is plugged in. Hopefully that makes everything even better. And this is the little support bar in the middle. Ah. Give me your tissue paper. Well, they don't break easier when you cure them. They can not cure in the center. And when it doesn't cure in the center, that could be an issue. And also if it's like a really big piece, like let's say you print something that's pretty large and hefty, one, you're wasting a ton of material, and two, when that curing process happens, it can break during the curing process if it's really thick and just solid resin. And object hollowing is the best way of doing that. Plus, in general, if you print something like this can, and you print this thing hollow, you're going to waste so little material. And it's also easy to print. But if you did this thing solid, you're gonna go through so much material. That's probably more than a vat's worth of material to print the soda can. And then when you cure it, since the light has to pass through to cure it, getting to the dead center as evenly as it does the outside is an issue. So the outside will cure faster, and then the center will cure slower or not even finish curing at all. And then you've got this piece that could distort and break. And yeah, so if you're doing SLA printing, Mesh Mixer has an awesome tool built in for object hollowing, and you set it for like a couple millimeters thick, maybe even 3 millimeters thick, and then you have to add a hole. So you put a hole in the bottom and a hole somewhere in the back side, so that way when your print is done, you can pour out the resin from the inside without any issue. You need a vent hole. So yep, that's all things that need to be. Let's vent this one. We're venting my can. Oh yeah, needed that. All right. So one of the reasons why I had this pre-drilled is because I can just use this side. And I can just use an M320 and it'll pass through M520. And when I connect the pieces, they're already pre-threaded in those. There's 2 holes. There we go. There's 2 holes and they're already pre-threaded. So you can quickly get it lined up, and then you do the final adjustments using a square. And I have a digital, we got a digital angle finder. And I also do have a nice square somewhere in the basement that I built my other bear with. So if you're building a bear or a Zerbo, you're gonna want a metric square, a really nice one. Not a cheap plasticky one. I do have a cheap plastic square over there, which I will not be using today. I don't have the build manual in front of me, but I can get the general shape built. I just have to know where to slide in all the extra things. So let me, yeah, these are the exact same extrusions that you can get from all 3D makers. They're made by LDO, who Prusa uses to make their motors, and they even anodize after the cut. So this is black. This isn't just some bare silver material. They actually anodize after the cutting, so that way you get a finish. Because normally what happens is you buy them pre-anodized, and then you cut them, and you'd get a little bit of rough anodized missing on the edges if they're not good. This one is pre-drilled. I got this specifically from LDO, and he made it custom. Jason from LDO made it custom, and he made 2 of 2. There'll be no more of these made pre-drilled like this unless someone carries them in the United States. So I'm just kind of like testing to see if the pre-drilling helps, because the issue is if the pre-drilling isn't perfect and these ends aren't cut perfectly. So I mean, if I set this thing down and this isn't making a perfect 90 degree this way and a perfect 90 degree in this direction in the X and Y axis, then when you screw this into the extrusion and you tighten it in, it's going to be cattywampus. So you have to find someone who can cut these almost perfectly, and LDO has an extrusions company, so they actually do the extruding and they do the cutting on their CNC machines, which is extremely accurate. But again, and then if the holes aren't perfect, you have issues too, because there's a certain distance everything needs to be at, and it's basically the Z-axis. When the Z-axis goes down, it has to be, let me pull this back. So the distance between the back of this to the back of this has to be 96 millimeters for the Mark 2.5, and then it's a little bit more forward on the Mark 3 version. So the pre-drilling, again, if these aren't drilled properly, your Z-axis is going to be off, and then you're going to have issues calibrating your bed. So the pre-drilling is just something I want to test and see if it can be done. You can definitely try to find someone to do that for you, but they better know what they're doing, because it's kind of the same thing, because I think Zerabo does the same thing, and there's a little issue sometimes assembling it. They're pre-drilled, and they're pre-drilled only in the center. So they use, this is V-slot. So these are actually, I don't know if I can get it in camera, but those are V's, not T-slot. So there's a little extra groove where polyurethane wheels or Delrin wheels would roll on, because this is the same materials the CR10s are made out of, and all the Creality printers are made, and they have little wheels that roll in the grooves. T-slot, you wouldn't want to do that, but these V-slots, yeah, it's pretty, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. I got so excited about this being a V-slot. But with the T-slot, they have one hole, there's a center in the T-slot that they use from Asumi, and that gives you some room to get the angle correct this way. But again, if the hole isn't perfectly dead center and the hole on this side's not perfectly in place, you could cattywomp this and do that, and then it won't line up, and then you have issues calibrating your printer. It's not very common that happens with the Zerabo printers and such, but it can happen, and that's why I don't recommend pre-drilling unless you're crazy like I am. And I'm just testing it. I basically had them make me 1, and they made 2, so I have 2 of 2. If it works out, that's awesome. If not, you know, it's my money that I wasted, not yours. 35 viewers. That's a lot for the holidays. Let me pull up the bare instructions, because I've only built 1, and I do not remember how exactly to assemble this. And I need a, where is a Mark 2.5 bare? Full upgrade. Full upgrade, Mark 2.5. And images. And where's the assembly instructions? Manual. Assembly instructions. Y-axis. All right, let's move this window. Yeah, I bought my first bear from all 3D makers, and my Mark III bear just shipped to yesterday. So this printer is going to be a bear. And these are the wrong parts. This is my Mark III bear parts. This frame won't work on a Mark III, Chris. I need the pink parts. And I can't get it all done. I don't have all the fun stuff. So let's pull up those directions and move it to this screen. Right there. Perfect. And the simple stuff. So I need to assemble the X and Y axis. Well, axes. I need to build a little rectangle that all this goes on. So this is my X, and this is my Y, and it would go like this. Front of printer, back of printer, left and right of printer. I would still print the extruder parts in black, but you can print, you know, the front body and the idler door, and you can print some of that. But I would definitely, I mean, you can print them in color too, and you can paint the inside black. So you can print this whatever color you want, as long as it's really, really dark inside of here at the end. And the way that Greg has done the build on the extruder, there's very little light that can enter. So I would still recommend painting it black inside, or whatever color that you do. I mean, you can make this thing purple and paint the inside of this filament sensor chamber black, and it'll be the exact same thing. All right, I need a whole bunch of these. The extruder does look better in all black, and I still need to print an all black printer. That's on my, I might steal that Mike's idea. Does that have the Martin out? It does not. It has the same Prusa one. Greg's still waiting on like a finalized what's the best indirect filament sensor stuff, and who knows, Prusa might have an update for the filament sensor coming up here. So anything is possible in the future. So the first thing I have to do on my frame is I assemble it via the magical method. And I'll do the back part last. We'll do the front and left and right. So I'm going to use the 20 millimeter M5 screws and just get the general shape made. And then I'll come in with the 90-degree angle plates after that to set the shape, and then I'll lock it in with the set screws. And I do need to slide in, because mine has these, I do need to get a couple of these T-nuts in here beforehand, because they won't slide in after. There's a couple of steps I have to do differently because I have these screws, because they won't pass with these screws in, and I need two for the front. Yeah, little front, this thingy, the LCD screen. So in order to attach it, I need some mounts there. And I don't need to do the top ones. Those can slide in later. Let's see. And what material? I only use PETG for my upgraded parts. I just love PETG. I think it's a fabulous material. It's easy to print with. There's no noxious fumes. Print's great. They've added a ton of awesome colors. So like this crazy hot pink for my pink printer. I mean, it's pink. This is super pink. And then we'll slightly set these two screws in. Man, this is so easier not hitting the microphone all the time. I don't know why I haven't done this earlier. And I'm just going to get them on loose so I can still line it up. Pink is not real. I recommend the proper T-nuts for mounting everything but the printed parts. Oh, you're talking about the actual ones that are meant. So T-nuts won't fit in here because of the V-slot. So the V-slot parts, well, I guess they would work with these just fine. So, but I bought these, so I'm going to use these. So flip this over. And we'll put 2 of these here for right now. And then we'll slide 2 of these through here. Voila. And it sucks that this thing is not the proper color. I'd really like it to not be silver, but we'll go with it for now. M5, 12 M5 10 screws. These are 100 M5 10 screws. Which you don't need 100. I think you need 12 for this step. No, they're already open. Yeah, these can bend. I can see that happening if you're super duper rough with tightening these things. And that's why I'm going to use blue Loctite to finish this off with. I'm just going to get the general shape in and then pop these out one at a time and pop on some blue Loctite once I have the general shape. Perfect. Okay. And then this side. And there will be a third one there. Hey, what's up? But that one goes where the printed foot goes. Two of those there. 2 of those here. Let's take a look at those. Oh yeah, those won't bend. Yep, T-nut squares. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are going to be a lot better for the metal parts. I just follow the build. So I kind of just agree. If you're in Europe, you can get it from Rat Rig or from Black Frog in Poland. And I think Black Frog is out right now. This is what I heard the last time I did this. Well, not the last time I did this, but last time I talked about this stuff. I've never built a bear on TV. All right, so we get the general shape. And then, of course, use the abilities of the nice frame. Make sure everything's lined up. And I'm just going to secure it. Same thing on this side. Get everything flush. Get those 90-degree angles all pretty. So I have them, let's see here. Boom, people are posting things. Alrighty. So once these things, I've got them in loose right now. But now that they're in there, you can see that the shape is forming. Again, this is the bed. This is the y-axis here and the x-axis here. Then you get these in black anodized. I do kind of like them like this. And this, it's kind of a nice clash of colors. Pure aluminum and anodized with black aluminum. All right. Let's go back to the directional coordinates here. And I need to slide in a whole bunch of T-nuts. So I need 3 of them on each one of these. And this is kind of the part that you have to pay attention to. The directions that are on the Bear site for assembly are super nice. They're not the same style as Prusa's, but this isn't a very difficult build. And the directions are well thought out. So 3 on each side of there. See if I need to add any more. Nope. And actually, this was just fine this way. And we get our taller screws. Oop, should put them in the correct way. And we're just getting the general shape. And then once I get it perfectly square on all sides, and it's nice and flat and pretty, I'm going to go in and blue Loctite each one. So I'll take one out at a time, blue Loctite them, just so everything stays nice and 90. Yeah, I do have a 90-degree angle square somewhere around here. I didn't have any issues. Oh, and of course I forgot to put some T-nuts in because I didn't see that step over there. See, this is what I get. Yeah, they make, Bear recommends to use an actual precision square. So it's actually going to be, it should come with a nice little sheet telling you that this is a really nice square. So 2 go there, 2 go here. I still have 3 there, and I have 3 there, right? Yep. That's the only unfortunate part when you're doing this build. If they do make drop-in T-nuts, they're just not stable enough to be used for the frame parts. You can use them for printed parts, but adding these for printed parts is kind of boring. Okay, get that loose. They can still move around. Working on that general shape again. Two more T-nuts. This side. And 2 more. Someone is posting the exact tool that you probably should be using. All right. Plate, screws. Now, with the tape, if not perfectly even, mess with your angles. This V-slot, I'm actually pretty surprised at how scratch resistant it is. I definitely wouldn't go super crazy on this material with anything sharp. But a nice fine square is definitely something that you need. I kind of rough it right now because I will be taking apart a lot of this to possibly get painted. I don't know. I'm kind of digging this two-tone look right now. See how it looks like with the pink parts. Yes, that's the one. Something that's actually rated. So a DIN 875 rated square. So that way your square is square. You know, I don't calibrate my printers very often. Once they're calibrated, they kind of stay in a happy zone. And that's good for me. And there are a lot of tools on Thingiverse, but you have to make sure that your printer is properly in printing properly. All right, so then now that they're loose, I can come in here and I will get that nice and flush. I'll get that nice and flush the frame. And that one's actually really nice. Look at that. Awesome. So now we have this frame, and it is not going anywhere. That is a good looking frame. And then I have my extra screws I can set in for extra squareness. But I do have let's see. So I have this fancy digital scale. I'm just roughhousing around. Let me see if it'll show up. I don't even know what that says. That says 89.99. So we are super close to being square there. That's 90. That's 90. And this isn't the most accurate tool in the world. 8.999, 89.9, not 8.99. Yes, this is 9 degrees. Yeah, we're in a good shape. I call this close enough. So now I'm going to go back in and pop each screw off, pop a little blue Loctite on there, make it pretty, and then I'm going to set my frame screws as the final piece. So blue Loctite. There it is. Of course, you need something to poke the blue Loctite hole. I don't know if I have anything for that in my tool bin. There we go. Snips will work. And then just put a little bit of magic blue. Whoa, a little bit of blue. Probably a better way of doing this than what I'm doing. Should probably put it on a towel first. A little bit of blue. And remember, blue is semi-permanent. If you buy red, the actual color of these, I know this thing looks red, but it says blue. It says blue on there. If you get the one that says red, you're going to have a bad time because that's the permanent stuff. That stuff holds on strong. Super strong. We got more viewers now. Hey, everybody, we're building my custom bear. We're doing the X, Y axis right now. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to have to pop this back off because I need to put more T's in there. There's always a boo-boo. Chris always makes a boo-boo somewhere. That's fine. These sides are great. I wonder. Anybody else building anything fun for the holidays? Oh. We are building a bear, Peter. This is my custom bear. So I'll do an actual build video of an actual bear when my Mark III bear arrives. Should be here later this week if the UPS man is nice to me. We're just going in and blue Loctiting everything. What? Phil's building a bear. Are you at Build-A-Bear Workshop? Aw. Well, abandoning me is okay. I'm here for those people who don't have anything else better to do. All right. So, of course, I made a boo-boo. Yeah, I'd like to be at Build-A-Bear Workshop, too, and be like, hey, you guys build me one of these. So I made a boo-boo. So I have to take off this screw. And this screw. You're trying to get the bed level. I'm lucky I already squared up the angles here. This is kind of nice. Is already squared this up well enough where taking this thing apart doesn't really matter right here. Loctite makes SLA resin? What? Well, tell Prusa Chat to put Shane on and to get you taken care of super fast because Chris said so. That's not going to get you anywhere. You can tell him that all day. But I forgot to put 3 of these in here and on this side. 12 dozen oatmeal pecan chocolate chip cookies. You need to send me some chocolate chip pecan oatmeal cookies. My buddy used to make the best chocolate chip oatmeal cookies ever. Yeah, I need to. I was just going to find a cup here somewhere so I could just dip them. I didn't realize how I cut that tip a little big on my Loctite. So, yeah. Okay, now I have all the correctness there. Ooh. I need to go to Forum Next Frankfurt because they have cool stuff there, apparently. Micro mini ball screw conversion. Huh. Everyone's doing fun stuff. Yeah, I need to find a bottle cap. I have this cap from the Loctite, but it's I guess it can hold an M5 screw, but it's also round at the top, so it falls over. I opened up a Sprite can of sparkling soda. 3 print. You know, if all of my printers weren't printing at the moment right now, I would totally print something. This is why I'm building another printer. Chris don't have enough printers for all the projects he needs to take care of. All right. Oh, yeah, just get blue Loctite all over your metal thing, Chris. That's normal. All right, what's Chris got for plastic over here? Then he put blue Loctite in. Just roll that around. Blue Loctite a little bit. Oh, my streams are awesome because I make lots of mistakes. And I make everyone look so much better. All right, I got a paper towel down here, so I can clean this mess up with it. Boom, blue Loctite. I will be getting a Core XY. I'm just in the middle of the debate of which Core XY to get, because there are a couple that I really like. I saw the Voron, which is an open builds project, the Voron 2, and I've also seen the Rat Rig. The Rat Rig has a open builds one as well. Boom. And then I also saw, I'm also looking at the Railcore, because the Railcore looks super sweet. Yep, just keep spilling that all over your printer. By the end of the day, I, myself, and my printer will be slightly blue. The motors I had custom made by LDO. You can also just get 300 tall ones from Zerabo, or All 3D Maker sells them. I don't know if Rat Rig sells the taller Z motors, but mine are a little bit shorter. I didn't want to go to 300. I felt 250 was easy enough to get square. More so than, I mean, as things get taller, squaring them is harder. So, well, when you get that design done trolling for dollars, you let me know. Big Delta CNC just announced their Boss Line. I don't know what a Boss Line printer is, but is it Core XY? Tell me about it. Tell me the story of this Boss Line. I will find something that I can pour this into. Wait. It's in this drawer. Sure, that works. Oh, it's a Delta. I have been thinking about a Delta as well. I had the Monoprice Mini Delta, which is probably the worst printer ever made. Hey, what up, dude? All right, I now have a cat for blue Loctite, so I can dip things into it. There we go. Now, if I do this correctly, the Loctite will open eventually again. All right, let's continue on our merry way. Yeah, the Monoprice Mini Delta was probably the worst purchase of my life. It sounds like a dying animal. Well, trolling for dollars, if you're unboxing it online, keep it far away from any microphone. It is the loudest printer of all time. It is like a giant box of resonation. I don't know who invented it, but oh my gosh, it was loud. Yeah, it was definitely my worst printer purchase ever because, one, I don't think they've ever upgraded the firmware, and there's a firmware bug where, like, if you hit pause, and I watched the Tom's video on the Monoprice, the Delta Pro, and it also has a bug when you hit pause. The pause on the Mini Delta would be instead of raising the nozzle up, because the Pro has a bug where it raises up and then you'll hit start and it'll just start printing where it left off. The Mini Delta would, instead of raising, would crash the nozzle into the object. Just always did that to me. The fan isn't the loudness, it's the motors. It's a very hollow object made out of metal, sheet metal, and the motors are super loud and noisy. So it makes a ton of noise. So yeah, it's a noise monster. Hey, we did it. We now have a frame. This is the X and Y axis. It looks super pretty. I actually don't mind the two-tone, but I don't know how it looked pink. Maybe I'll get these spray painted pink. All right, that's in, that's in. We did all the important stuff. Let's go to the next step. Finish the first step of many. Step 2, squaring, T-nuts. Oh, and I forgot to install 2 more nuts. Look at me go. I am the greatest 3D printer guy ever. I need some up here. I keep going to the next keep going to the next step without actually doing it correctly. And I thankfully am not using red Loctite. So I need 2 here and 2 here. We can do this. I need to buy some drop-in T-nuts for this, because they do make drop-in ones that when you make a mistake like this, you can fix it. But these don't drop in. You can't just like wiggle. Once they're in there, they're in there. Oh, poopy pants. Luckily, it's only 4 screws I got to take off again. That Chris guy, always making more work for himself. At least next time I build this thing, I'll remember. Because I've only built 1 bear. So my knowledge of assembly is pretty poor. There's some screws there. There's some screws here. This can come off. I need 1, 2 on the outside. 1, 2 on the outside. And then it shows step figure 2.2. I put the frame on. Look at that. Now I'm at the proper step that I should be at. Go me. I'm not a general fan of clone parts, but some of them work. Some of them work really well. Some of them don't work well at all. It just depends on what clone parts you're looking at. Yes, 0.3 millimeter variance across the bed is a lot. You'll never be able to print anything flat with that much variance on the bed. Which is the fun thing on the, so the reason I really want to get the rail core is the rail core has the Z-axis, it's a core XY, so the Z moves up and down instead of, the bed actually moves up and down instead of the whole printer. Or like on a, the gantry doesn't move up and down. The Z axis, the Z moves up and down. But it has three Z threaded rods. And the Z threaded rods, when it does the auto mesh calibration, will actually calibrate the physical bed. So the bed will move into plane. And the bed is made out of extremely expensive aluminum. So you can actually get 0.02 millimeter first layers. So not 0.2, 0.02, because the bed will be within 0.001 plus minus. Hey, what's up, David? David, we forgot. There's something you need to order for your store, and that's bed thermistors for the Mark III and the Mark IIs. And then the person said, so Peter, the bare frame that's on AliExpress, the clone one, is not very good. It is pre-threaded like the one I got, or pre-drilled, but it is not a happy kit. Someone else bought one and it was way out of spec and the cuts were really crooked, so it didn't work very well. All right, so now we're gonna glue Loctite these, and then we can set our frame to our angle. Come here. You don't have to get stuck in there, Mr. Screw. Oh, custom frame. Yeah, so, and I don't know if it comes with the 90-degree brackets or not, but these are essential. These brackets are what really make this frame so rigid. Because just the set screws alone, there's still a chance of wobble. I even tested it earlier. I have that other pre-built frame that I did with just the screws, just to see how well the alignment would work out. And I was actually able to wobble because only anchoring at the lowest point, so I can actually move it. But once these 90-degree brackets are in place, they don't move. So you might have to buy extra parts, and I think it's because you can get the bare frame, like all the frame parts, all the screws, and all the brackets and everything. It's like I think $120, and I think it's about the same. PL Poland, you can get it from blackfrog.pl. But if you get, but you need those 90-degree brackets to make it really, really sturdy. And the one from AliExpress that I saw had none of those brackets. I don't know if they're in the box or they just weren't attached or something. So, but they really add to the rigidity of the frame. Yeah, Poland. So, Black Frog PL carries the stuff, but I am Polish as well. So na zdrowie. Something else that I speak can say. Jak jest twoje jean? Jak, man, this is what I get for not hanging out with all the Polish kids on the Polish side of town. Hey, what's up, Pete from Australia? Let's see here. Okay. I know the other one's Świat. Wesoły Świat? Jak był twój dzień? Jak twój dzień? Jak był twój dzień? My day's been good. Whew. Man, the first one, I can't say that first word. My Polish is pretty bad. My mom and dad are both straight up Polish. I don't try to drink anything anymore. I learned my lesson a long time ago. Drinking only made me have less money for buying cool stuff. Still trying to figure out the other one. Vesolich. I know it's Fiat, so year. Yeah, Chicago is a huge Polish demographic, and so does Rockford. That's where I'm at. So when you, because Poland was taken over during World War II. When my grandparents had a choice of where to go, they had the option of America. Świat is world. Oh, okay. Świat. So you had the choice of Australia or America, and then America you could go to, like, I think it was New York, Chicago, or Rockford. It was like three different places you can go, and they picked Rockford because Chicago's really crazy. We have a huge community. We have a Polish church. I go to Polish Fest every year. I know enough to order me some pierogi and some potato pancakes and some Polish beer. Svieta. So this is when I need to call my mom and be like, hey, how do I say these words? And then she'll yell at me, you should know these. Because she still speaks 100% Polish all the time. Hey, what's up, Hawk? All right, we finally have the bear frame correct without forgetting any of the T-nuts this time. So we can move on to step 3 here, which is putting on the feet. And I can do that. I can put the feet on because we'll see how good this looks with the two-tone clash here. Now we'll make sure I even printed the feet. It's funny if I didn't. Let's see here. Here's this. These are things. Oh, there's a foot. 1 foot. These are feet. 1 foot, 2 foot. That's a top. I've got 2 feet. I need 3. Come on. I need to get a bigger box. That way I'm not digging as much. I am in Rockford, Illinois. Mr. Freely, if you're still having that bed variance issue, even though you flipped a sheet and done everything, I would ask for a replacement bed. The only other thing that I can recommend is, I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of nice not being tethered anymore. So the Prusa bed, there's those little wide carriage things that hold the rods. Loosen them and make sure they're pushed down all the way, because they can be a little cattywampus, which will then shift the rods in weird angles. I sometimes do. My buddy's a big fan of it, and we'll go over to his house and he'll host a UFC night. And mostly I just, root for the guy with the biggest beard and hope he wins. Unless it's Connor, then I'll just vote for Connor. Koto jest? Who is this? All right, I need some longer ones. I think I need some 12s. You're in Rockford this morning. I feel bad for you. Did you survive? M5/8s. And this should be M5/12s. Yep, M5/12. Yeah. Connor will be fine. He's made his money though. I think that's with most athletes, especially when you watch. Like I watch a lot of football, so once you get that big ticket price, you know, it's like, why do I have to work so hard? Unfortunately. All right, screw that in. Oh yeah, I should probably put a teen up there. I'm like, that's not going in. So I'll put some blue Loctite on it too. There we go. Come on. Okay, yeah, I can't pronounce that one in Polish. I am totally ready for the festive time. These guys are testing my Polish words. I never learned how to read Polish, but I can you know, sound it out and hopefully get to a point where I can say the word. I unfortunately went to American school. I'm married. You think I could afford those printers if I was married? No, I am not married. I would enjoy that though. Marriage sounds fantastic. That'd be like the best thing ever right now. Then I wouldn't have to cook Christmas dinner by myself. I can have like one of those people that helps you with that stuff, that likes you. And as I screw that in without the actual piece. Pietkovich. But yeah, I'm definitely ready for the festive time, though, Mr. Hawks. No, I'm not having it alone. I'm just cooking it. I decided this year I'm making Christmas dinner. I definitely wouldn't be on YouTube right now, though. I'll probably just be hanging out with somebody that's really pretty instead of hanging out with myself on my screen, since I can't see you guys. So I don't know if I like that color clashes a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to go back to redoing these pieces in black, but we'll live with that for now. Yeah, we'll live with that for now. Don't love it. I really think a new bed would be the best option. Pink anodized, that is on my maybe. It's like a big maybe right now, like a 95% maybe. It's so level. It doesn't wobble. Man, I did good. I'm gonna give myself a high five. All right, what can I assemble? I have no carriage here for this. There's only certain things I can and can't assemble. I can slide in things as I need them to. Looks like you need 2. Oh, that's right. I can do those. I can do this next step. I can do this next step. Pink anodized replacement bed. That would be a super pretty bed. All right. All right. Something else I need to do here as I continue to forget to put things in places. Just gonna keep forgetting to put things into places. All right, see you, Mr. RCNC, Mr. Barry. You have a wonderful Christmas. All right. Just going to not put Loctite on certain things right now. Hey, a print finished. Pink, orange, and black. I don't know about that. All right. So this is fun. We'll pop those prints off. Some more Dungeons and Dragons terrain. Clear the bed of these things. Put this in my terrain box over here. And then, okay. G codes. Wait. Here's. Strange. Let's see. That's all good. That works good. Messages. Finished. Okay. Everything's printing happy over here. This is kind of nice. All right, I'm back. All right, those are in. I got to get more in here. So you need a Prusa to build. You don't need a Prusa to build one of these. You need a lot of the parts from a Prusa. Reading is definitely difficult for me. Reading Polish. Because I'm basically trying to sound it out and then trying to remember what it is. If someone's speaking it, it's a lot easier for me. Just because I'm used to that. I am building a custom bear that I had designed. So everyone's kind of following along as I mess up a whole bunch of times, since mine's a little different than the regular one. The volume was going down. Maybe I wasn't talking loud enough. Is the volume still good? I can't hear. The electrons have further to go. That might be true. Okay, so I have a super sturdy frame. We have all the bits in there. The green is atomic UV reactive green. Super awesome. Yes, the one I did mention when I was doing that. Yeah, I learn the most from my mistakes most of the time. Not always. Next step. All right. I can do some more building here. Black angle steppy things. Here they are. These beautiful guys. So here, slide that over there. And same thing over here. This is going to add even more rigidity. All right. You quit your nonsense. What screws do I need? 8. Need those 8mm screws. Put the chat out back. I've only done one of these builds, and this is my custom one, so it's got some steps that I can't do in the same order because some of one of my mods, like these set screws, that I had built in, the pre-drill, it kind of messes up with the order of how things can be installed. But it's actually a really easy build too, which is nice. I also hope everyone's having a good Christmas Eve. Or if you're in Europe land, a good Christmas. I think it might be that time in Europe land. All right. Does 45 a roll sound good? What I find? If you go to atomicfilaments.com, I think they are like $30 for the PETG. Okay. Partially tightened. And then I need to get a bunch of these in there. All right. See you, Mr. Hawk. All right. Uno. Dos Equis. Boom. 2 more of those. 2 more of these. On this side. Awesome. And then one more here. So I can finish putting that in. Is that an 8? Oh, this is an 8. All right. I really like these, the black on black frame look. I think I need to go back and have those parts, definitely have those parts painted. Whether it be black on black or something similar. Totally not digging the silver look on there right now. Might change when it's all together. One more set screw here. All right. Loosen this up a touch. Loosen that up a touch. Line it up. And screw that in. Screw that in. That in. There we go. Yeah, it gives a character, but it just, I don't like that. That is, pink and silver do not a happy printer make. At least not a feng shui one. Oh, too many. Just need the one extra. What's really nice about one of the other things I really love about this frame with all the V-slot is adding attachments. Like if I want to add a camera mount, I can just make a camera mount and then put it right here on the frame here or here on anywhere. There's no restrictions really on where I can put extra doohickeries. The extrusion multiplier to make it thicker. I think there is a way. I don't remember if that's just a setting. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do. Dave, that's a great idea. But man, I really like to keep my oven not smelly, full of dangerous things. And now it's super sturdy. Oh, Hulk smash. Hey, what's up, Chaos fan? Welcome to this random bear build. Extrude less just on solid infill. I know you can change the extrusion width, but I don't know about extrusion multiplier. I think there's a way, and I think you have to do it with the conditional statements in Slicer Proofs Edition. Off the top of my head, though, I don't know. All right, we get to do the Z. Of course, I have to do that step because my Z is already tapped. All right, and my Z gets assembled slightly different than this one will be. Well, I guess I could do it the same way. Let's move this off camera for the moment. Here's our Z-axis. Mine already pre-drilled at the top and the bottom, so I don't have to worry about all that nonsense. These are actually pre-tapped too. You know, maybe I'll have them tap. Yeah. Ideas for later. Ideas for much, much later. Okay, what does Chris need? He just needs to assemble it just like this. There's nothing special. So 1 and 2. Let's see here. Don't powder coat my home. Bad, bad, bad. Yeah, I would think so, just because I've never done it and it might smell. So what do? Do you want to have one of them? You buy all the stuff. Yeah, you can buy all the stuff to make a build. And I think they're working on making just a printer, but usually it's like it's just like $120 upgrade to make a way better frame and add some better parts to your already good Mark II, Mark 2.5, Mark III. When I source the parts for Crucimento, I have my ordered parts. Yeah, the Joker Mendel. That's got to be fun. Let's see. And 3. This side, right? Oh, they go on the inside. See, I was already going to make a mistake again. Corrected myself before I did it. Probably would have found out when I didn't reach. So 3 go there. 2 go there. Uno, dos, and seis, right? So it goes right to seis? No, tres. All right, 9 degrees. 9-degree plate, 9-degree plate, and there are 4 left. So I am doing good. I don't have any extras of those. It's probably good that I do not. And these are going to be M3 10s or 12s? 10s. So those are these. So what does everyone want most for Christmas besides a Mark III? And besides a forklift for their store? Dave. Let me check something really quick here. Where's my, there it is. And T and 0, 0. And print. I love that I could just send a print from my computer. You can talk to Dave about that unlimited supply of polyalchemy elixir. That guy has that stuff in his store even. Hey, chiral symmetry. Yes, this is a bear thingy. This is my custom, slightly taller 250 on the Z-axis Mark 2.5 bear. You want a lathe? I say you get a lathe. Hey, what's up, Chris Lee? Welcome to the bear build. Yeah, the frame's not bad, is it? Mr. Phil. Frame is pretty easy dealy. Just time consuming. All right. Heck yeah, Chris. Welcome to the Bear Club. Oh yeah, way easier than a Mark II frame. I mean, this definitely has more, probably has more steps than a 0.2 for a Mark II, but I would way rather put this thing together than another Mark II frame. Mind you, I never had a huge issue building them. Like they normally would turn out pretty square, but man, they are no fun. Nemo, what's wrong with your Mark III? We can troubleshoot it right here. $1,200 spools of polyalchemy. That's a pretty, yeah, that is definitely a pretty, unless you have 1,200 printers. And that's going to go by real quick. Jody, that is made with atomic UV green PETG. For the most part, it should be square. I don't think you're going to have too many issues getting it square, Phil. Especially if you have at least something. I'm going to go back to my digital angle finder. $90.05. Okay, good enough. Yeah, Bruce, I don't have any of the MMU2s working. Oh, this one's not good. 89.98. There we go. No, chaining them, I mean, I guess theoretically you could chain them, but no. That would be insanity. Yeah, I should have not this one. So let me get my camera back on screen. This Mark III is going to be turning into a bear, and then I'll have the MMU2 on it permanently. I needed more printers. So having the Mark MMU2 on makes it harder for me to get single printing done because I have to remember to change it to single print and blah, blah, blah. And I just was getting fed up constantly having to remember which one had what. So I decided I would skip the using of the MMU2 and just cut down on my headache. And I had a ton of printing to get done, and none of it was multicolor. So it'll be back shortly. Yeah, I can't remember that because, like, right now I'm printing Dungeons and Dragons stuff on these 3. I'm doing terrain, so I'm printing a whole bunch of terrain. Here's a doorway. I don't have the door printed yet, but I have the same G code on all of these printers, and just slicing at one time and not forgetting to make sure I have everything set correctly and having the correct color was just. Yeah. I have no idea what brand. I picked it up at Home Depot, and I set it up against my 90-degree square, and it said it was 90, so I was like, okay, this thing must be accurate. So yeah, it looks square. I mean, looks good. Mike, I will be staying with the MMU2. I do have a palette, but oh my gosh, so my palette plus has had an issue, and I guess it's a common issue. And I sent a message to them, and it took a week to get my first response back from them. Or no, I waited a week and didn't get any response from them. Sent them a second email, and it took them 4 more days, and they finally got back with a response saying like, oh, we didn't get the first email, but have you tried this? And then I would try it, and I'd send them an email back immediately. Like, it was literally, they'd send me an email. 5 minutes later, I'd send an email back saying, yeah, I tried that. You know, here's the error that I have. Here's a picture of the error, blah, blah, blah. Then the next day, I'd get an email back, and it'd be like, well, try this. So I'd immediately, like, as soon as the email came in, I would try it, send them back the email with the results that they wanted, and then another day I'd get an email back saying, so it has been the most annoying process, because if I send them an email, they don't get back to you until the next day. So it's been annoying working with Mosaic on an issue, and they're making me do things I've already done. Like, I already told them what I've done. Like, well, now let's move the firmware back one step. So here's a special firmware you to try. Let's redo everything. And I'm like, I did that, but now I'm just doing it on a different thingy. Ugh. All right, do this, get my 20mm M5 so I can slightly preset my Z-axis. Yeah, I can imagine that they're overwhelmed a little bit, but a single email per day is pretty bad. I mean, at least give me a second email. I mean, it's just annoying. I just want mine to work. Come on, there we go. Yeah, it's, at least it makes me feel better knowing that I'm not the only one waiting a full day to get an email response back, but it also makes me feel a little bad that anybody's waiting that long. Steven, that's because the laser sensor isn't 100% working correctly. If the laser sensor was 100%, Prusa has no issue setting the laser sensor to be on. But right now it's not 100% reliable. All right. I need to slide 2 of these here. Yes, pretty 100%. But some people have really bad filament sensors, and it can still be fooled. Even with the Zero Beast, it's a lot better. I think the Zero Beast firmware is awesome, but go to their Facebook page. Yeah, unfortunately, the Facebook page, when I did that, told me to go to support, which then took me to the support guy who's helping me, who's then responding once per day. So, yeah. Super fun for Chris. Super happiest of all fun. All right. So now we get to add some more brackets. Whoopsie. I need to put some stuff. Oh, wait, I can slide them in from through here. Keep forgetting that there's ways of doing this. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Let's get some of these aluminum platies on. Guess it'll be easier this way. M510s. Ooh, I can stand up now. And I'm wearing pajamas again. Because, you know, only professionals wear real pants. Yeah, it's cool at the, I mean, the only downfall is the filament sensor might have worked 100% for you, but, you know, I have one, I mean, I just swapped it, but I had one that was just never working correctly. I had one that works correctly a lot of the time. So I'm waiting for the official indirect filament sensor. I think that will be the biggest help. All right. Square all this up. Hey, Skewed View, you have a good one, man. Merry Christmas. All right. Check my angle here. Okay, 90. Yeah, as someone said, Antonio, it depends on where you live, but if you're in the United States, Luis just posted all 3D makers has them. If you're in the Europe area, Black Frog PL and Brett Rig sell them. And then, of course, you go there, Greg has everything posted there for where everything's located and all that nonsense. Now, mind you, this is a custom designed one for me. It's a little bit taller. I've got screws pre-threaded in here. So it's a little bit different. So my build will be slightly different and actually a lot easier than yours. Or not easier. Well, this one's harder because it's confusing me because certain steps that happen on the steps I can't do because my set screws block things. I have not had a chance to try the Prusament Jet Black PTG. I did see that they're making a Galaxy version. They're doing a black with metal fleck PTG. So that I'm super excited for. Super duper excited about that. Because I love really good looking PTG. Mostly because they print a lot of parts. So if I can make parts look prettier with pretty PTG, game over, folks. Super game's over. Okay, that is way off. I mean, you can ask him for one I don't think it'll happen. All right, this axis is a little bit off, so I gotta mess with that. This is where a nice square would come in handy. So this has got to come forward a little bit to be 90, right? Is that correct? Right there. Okay. Whew. So the normal Bear kit, this one has pre-drilling. So let me pull up my monitor. So I have some pre-drilling done on the frame to help me line things up a little bit faster. So some pre-drilling. And I actually have a taller Z-axis. So this is 250 for the Z. So this is taller motor here. We'll go here and look way better than this standard motor here. As you can see, it's not tall enough. So I have a slightly different version going in because I just wanted one with a little bit extra Z height. And I want to try the pre-drilling to see if that's actually a help or a hindrance. It's been a little bit of a hindrance because I've never built one like it before. So remembering the order of operations has become difficult. But I think I'm getting it. I think I can. I think I can. So I keep telling myself. Yeah, the atomic PETG is insane. They have my own filament. If I had a custom filament, it would be pink with gold fleck in it. And it would be super pretty. And it would be PETG. Yeah, and like Chris said, the atomic PETG is insane. It's really good PETG. And it seems like no matter what color you get, there's never an issue. They all print great. So, such a nice, calm build. Come on. And it's made in America, which is a bonus too. I always try to make a point to buy as much USA-made filament as possible, and their PLA is super good too. I have a stack of prints. You can't see they're just off camera, but that's going to be for another video. But I have a stack of prints in all the different colors of Atomic and some other brands I've been testing, sitting right in front of me, right off camera, where no one else can see them but me, because I'm special. All right. Ooh, everybody likes mystery boxes. I super like mystery boxes. Oop, I need to leave this way. We got one more 90 to put in. And then I can stand on the frame and see if it's strong enough to hold my really not lightness. Go over there, Mr. Screw, or T-Nut. Yeah, which mystery box do you have, Mr. Scalda? so close. Oh, that's right. I knew that there was going to be like a European version of the alien box. I really like my alien boxes. Once I get like 7 more printers, I can print more alien box. They have a project in every box. Okay, all squared up. Super sturdy frame. I'm standing on the frame. Woo! Woo! Okay, am I balanced? Can I stand on the frame? Woo! I can do this. Oh, I did it. All right. Ugh. Yep, this frame is Chris approved. Woo! So if you want the sturdiest frame in the world and it can support me, Chris. Tom, I believe in these bear frames. These brackets are insane. Like this, there's no way of getting, yeah. There's no bending in this once it's all tightened in. So this is why I recommend these printers, man. Super duper sturdy. Surfing USA. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. There we go. Whoa. There we go. Final test. And only warped slightly. There's your lesson in why Chris believes in these frames. And you can feel free and tell people about your stuff on my stream. Is it still square? Okay, can I, hold on. Me. Keep losing it. There we go. Right there. Yep. 90.05. Close enough. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. How many people we have on there for that? 52 viewers might have seen Chris standing on a 3D printer frame. So metric kilo. I don't know how much I weigh in metric. Well, yeah, this thing is exceptionally sturdy. I don't think you would ever yeah. No, don't stop talking about the boxes. Feel free to tell people about your boxes. That's this channel is all about, talking about boxes. Yeah, don't forget there's 2 time links because I did it twice. The second time I surfed on it. So that was super fun. But that was just the frame assembly. So this thing, again, sturdy as all can be. And I guarantee you this is flat and pretty. Yeah, at least I'm not jumping up and down yelling something odd. But yeah, it's a remarkable system. I'm gonna get a few more pieces on. I think, yeah, I do have rods, and I do have most of everything else that I need to finish this assembly. And there's no wobble, so we're good. So let's get a few more pieces on here, and I don't have this printer to take apart to put together, so I won't be able to do the full build today. But I'm gonna get a couple of the printer parts on here. I'm gonna check my Z-axis, how my motors go on, and all that fun stuff. If I have to reprint a special Z parts or anything like that. So let's get some parts out and do some of the assembly. Just a touch of it. I just want to see how the Z-axis looks. So some Z-axis parts. Get that beard hair out of there. Can't do that. The noise level on the Mark. This is a Mark 2.5 bear, and it is a little bit quieter than a regular Mark 2.5. Like my regular Mark 2.5 is loud. It's not here. My buddy's borrowing it at the moment. I can put these on. I can put those on. And adjust them later. I most just want to check out the Z-axis and see how that's doing. The Z-axis. Yeah, because the frame is sturdier, you'll definitely get a better noise level. It won't be as crazy loud. And for one more Y-axis Y-holder. Where are you in my box of pink parts? Oh, there it is. Kids are going for the Christmas Eve presents. That sounds lovely. Yes, we'll see you soon. All right, let's see how well these Z-axis motors go on. So the long one, I don't know if I have a long one or a short one, or if he sent me one with the correct. No, it looks like they all have the same length. Yep. Oh yeah, the height came up perfect. Yeah, they did a good job with those motors. No, there shouldn't be. You're really tight. If you really tighten the parts in, those T-nuts are pressed against the inside of the. I mean, if you figure there's a wall, that T-nut is smushed up against the wall. So, there's a link. But yeah, that frame is. I would never stand on a CR10 Mini or an Ender 3, and it's the same material. I mean, it's V-slot. Once you get those brackets in place, they're good stuffs, man. All right, this goes on this side. This goes on this side. Oh, yeah. I don't think I have to print anything custom for that. See, height's good. Where's my topper? I'm just gonna check it. There's a Z topper. Nope, that's not a Z topper. Come on, Z topper. You're in this box of pink things. I'll find it eventually. After I'm gonna do that thing where the ladies spill their purses out. Have fun, Luis. Have a good Christmas, man. Let's see here. Yep, that is dead center inside the bracket. So I'm happy. This will be a really nice setup. I'm going to screw those in. So the downfall being is, so these are meant for the standard motors. So these are a little low for my motors, but I'll make it work. Happy birthday, Rick Sanchez. We have Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty here. He must have heard about me standing on a 3D printer frame. Wubble wubble lub dub. There are dust covers that go on top here. Oh yeah, well, on here you mean? Yeah, I didn't print any of those. Again, it's my normal MO, dust covers. I'll have to take some of this apart because I do not like I don't like this silver and this pink. I'm either gonna get these painted pink, or I'm gonna get them like maybe some kind of metallic black, something, because I don't like this. I didn't even put Loctite on these. I just let it go. So I do have some black ones on the way though, so I might just swap these for black and then have these painted for another printer. So I just ordered these from all 3D makers. They only had them in the silver. Lame. Silver's not as cool as black. Hey, what's up, dude? Barry, you missed me standing on this frame. I was standing. I think Tom Jackson from Filament Frenzy, he's got the timestamp. Me literally standing on the frame. So, because I trust this frame that well. What length screws I need? I need these longer ones, right? Ooh, that's right. I could send them to you. Well, I have a guy local that can have them painted. So if that doesn't pan out, I will send them to you. Because I don't know how busy he is. And I need to take this off to set these in here. This. Right there. So much easier working with T-nuts if they aren't sliding around improperly. Okay, just got to get them partially in there. Don't make too many loud noises. Oh, this is way better building with this microphone. I'll have to replay this and see how poor the video quality or audio quality is. But one more. Okay. Loosen that one. I need to tighten that one just a touch. Oh, touch more. These too long? These bottoming out? What did I grab? Studio tour. Here's the tour. Here's my basement with all the printers. Awesome. I'm glad the audio is clear at least. That was my biggest concern. Oh, that still moves. I think those are bottoming out. We're going to switch to a 10. Oh, yeah. Those are bottoming out. Going to 10s. Yeah, what's funny is earlier when I tried the, what were those things? I tried just the plain lav, the clip-on. My beard is an anti-clip-on lav dome of silence. It's quite hilarious. Okay, this that just a touch. That's one a touch. One a touch. Okay. Just got to get the right tension on. There we go. Now I can set the height. Motor in there. Push that down. Okay. You'll get extra. If you get an official bear kit, you have enough screws for all of the printed parts that you need. I add a few extra parts sometimes. So if you want to order extra T-nuts and M5 screws, I do recommend that. There we go. Check the level. All right. Perfect. Yes, Stephen, this is the Atomic Pink PETG. Because we all know pink is pretty. And a pretty printer prints pretty. Yep, I said that. Put a few extra parts on here, then get that second Z motor XE set. Voila. Drop a few more of these, so I need one in there. And, oh, I have a bag right here. Two on the side. Yeah, I wish it was sparkly too. That would be my dream material. If it was a sparkly pink. And 3DX Tech makes a sparkly pink, but I would prefer something a little bit more opaque. Kind of like Tom's Orange from Protopasta, but in pink. Have that kind of opaque-ish whatever. Yeah, that rail core is nuts. Project Red from Chicago did a lot of work getting a nice kit for that, and that is a super cool printer. That is on my top 2 Core XY printers. Covers the size I need, the technology I need. I want 32-bit. I want to start messing with that. Come on, silly. Yes, I'm so glad they put the kit together, and it saves just it doesn't save a ton of money versus buying it piece by piece, but it sure does save the headache of buying it piece by piece. I do wish they had better linear rails. I don't know anything about Ziltech linear rails. They can't be horrible, but I don't know how good they are. So I know about Highwind and their crazy, ridiculous rails. So don't know. Yeah, Highwind is like Highwind's a ridiculously expensive. I think Masumi also sells it. So this frame is 250. I mean, it's 406, but it makes a 250 tall printer area amount of space to print. So the Z-axis motors at their fullest height will be 250 millimeters of print height. Yeah, expensive ones are overkill. But you know what? So is this frame. That looks good. Ugh. All right, I'm going to attach these two things. Two things. I don't have any rods or anything to line these things up with. So I'm just going to put them on, and then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go back. Why am I putting that on there? I definitely need to call it a day. I'm doing weird things. I'm attaching things that aren't even attached to anything. Silly me. Oop. Incorrect screw length. Oh, what time is it? 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, and all I did was build a frame, talk about some stuff I bought. Guess we'll do Slic3r Alpha talk later. Yeah, but that pink is going to look good. That's going to be a good-looking printer when it's done. Hey, what's up, Jake from State Farm? Merry Christmas, Jeff. So, Jake, you missed it. I stood on this frame, show how sturdy it is. And I printed a bunch of pink parts for it. Yes, the new Slic3r PE looks awesome. And we talked a little bit about it. I found a small little bug, but all the new features, and it is an alpha, so I'm not knocking them for bugs yet. I guess that's the whole point of the alpha, is to find the bugs and people can report them. Yeah, the thing's gonna be a beast. Yeah, my y-axis would be way out of whack if I set it there. It'll give me eyeballing this, because I don't have any of the parts to finish this printer. Because my buddy's borrowing, Dan, you're borrowing this printer. I need the parts from it to finish this build. Which I'm not ready to finish it until after this holiday week. There we go. All right, that's as much as I'm doing. One heck of sturdy frame with pink parts coming soon. So, yeah, if you haven't realized how awesome this frame is yet, I think I might have. This one is going to be the same. So it's a Prusa. So 250, 210 in the Y, 250 in the Z. I just want a little extra Z height. So again, these are the motors I got for this. This is the stock Prusa 210 millimeter. I added some more. I added 40 more millimeters so I can get 250. And also beefed them up. These are beefier motors. So yeah, this is it for today. I'm gonna stop building. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of the day, relaxing, watching cartoons and drinking soda pop and eating all the cookies before tomorrow. So everyone have a wonderful Christmas. I'll probably see you online before New Year's, but if I don't, if you have a pair of 300s, man, you can you can just ask for the taller frame. You can either, I think, open builds, you can get them custom cut. So, or you can find definitely someone who can make you a custom cut length to add. So another 50 on top of this. So that'd be 456 millimeters that you'd need this to be if you want 300. Well, I don't really know. I don't remember. I'm bad at math. Yes, Chris, anytime, man. But yeah, everyone have a Merry Christmas. Everyone stay out of trouble. Eat all the food you want. You can diet afterwards. You can diet in between Christmas and New Year's, and you can eat a bunch of New Year's food. I don't know if there's New Year's food. I just do like cheese and crackers and wine and champagne. And then hopefully for New Year's, I'll have this thing ready. I have a few more parts coming in. I should have my black angles in. That way I don't have to have these silver angles, which I'm not too, I guess they kind of work. I could just take some black Sharpie and is that. So yeah, Merry Christmas. Stay out of trouble, guys. We'll see you all on the Facebook and Twitterverse. So maybe I'll do more frame surfing once it's put together. We'll see if I'll stand on it when it's all together and let it print while I'm standing on it. So until then, happy holidays from my basement to yours, I guess.